Hello and welcome. This is the first episode of the Studio Gears podcast.
I believe we're calling it Gear Talk.
Gear Talk. Not cemented completely.
It could change.
I mean, it's there for now.
Yeah. If you heard the other ideas, you'd probably stick with that one too.
Yeah. I mean,
just saying.
My name's Richard.
My name is Joseph. You've probably seen us on our videos demoing some of the equipment, some of the guitars.
Hopefully.
If you haven't, where are you? And get out from under that rock.
Yeah. We'll probably put a little link over here. For those of you who are interested, I am on the VX5 microphone here.
And then I am using the OM3. Both are by Audix. And both are available on the Studio Gears website.
You can find the link to those down in the description below, depending on what you're viewing us on, YouTube or whatever.
Smartphone, Wii U, gaming device.
Wherever there's a description.
Somewhere.
Right.
Over the rainbow. If there isn't one, get on a better device. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's 2017 already. Okay, follow a link.
You know what? I was just going to say, like, are we still on a Nokia? But they're coming out with, like, a
Oh, they've got a
screen.
smartphone touchscreen coming out, yeah.
I was actually looking at it. It looks pretty cool.
Right? It'll probably be okay.
We're not here to talk about cell phones, though.
No, we don't sell any cell phones on Studio Gears website, guys.
Not yet.
Right? We're working on it. Really. As soon as they have one with a true built-in DAW, we're ready.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of the phone thing, we could talk about that interface that we were using earlier, the Wi-Fi one.
That was really cool.
That?
I wish we had the box here.
It's the
So it's the SoundCraft Ui16. It's a digital mixer. Some of the key features is that it has a built-in lexicon, DBX, and Digitech processing. So you get all kinds of filtering and processing for your sounds. It's Wi-Fi controllable by your iPhone and I believe your Android. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah. Also, the computer. If you hook it up to the computer, you can show the controls on the computer.
Perfect. And so they have apps for all those devices to interface accordingly.
We were messing with it a little bit earlier today. It's pretty extensive. It's got you go into it, you can click on the track you want, you can change the level. There's a automatic compressor on there. You can change reverb, chorus, delay, I believe.
Right. Again, all of those, built-in effects and processes.
All the built-in stuff. EQ. I mean, it's really got everything you need, and it's all, you can walk around with your phone.
Yeah. I mean, if you were master of ceremonies, you could put this thing to use. You could be out in the crowd and still mixing your levels.
Yeah. If you were gonna go and record a bunch of Buddhist monks, you take it and you plop that in front of them and go step in the back and mix it up.
According to the website, they built it with that in mind, actually.
Right, yeah, it says here made specifically for Buddhist monks.
Right,
and,
Buddhist temples and practices.
Yeah, I believe, that's the finding.
You should see the picture. I guess we could go into the ESP Signature Series guitars.
Okay, so ESP's coming out with a bunch of signature guitars this year.
We've already done 2 demonstration videos, so we'll put some links somewhere on the screen here for you to click over, or description, or wherever links can be found on your viewing device of choice.
Just scroll a little bit.
Worst case scenario, go back to YouTube, do a search. Studio Gears Sparrowhawk, Studio Gears Volsung. You'll see both of our demonstrations. Very nice guitars.
Very, very nice. Yeah, the Sparrowhawk, very nice metal, rhythm metal guitar.
Right, a little bit of a grungier punk sound from the Volsung, but being that it was a Signature Series designed after one of the most prolific punk artists out there, it's not too surprising.
Yeah, I mean, and that what is that, satin camo?
Satin camo.
Looks awesome.
It's cool. It would have a good presence on stage.
Yeah.
But the flat black on the Sparrowhawk has a classic approach to it. It's almost I
believe that's the military green
sunburst.
Sunburst, yeah.
Right. Piezo is another guitar that's coming out this year, which we've also reviewed.
EC-1000 Piezo, really cool guitar.
As well as the 1000 HT, which is made out of koa wood. That's a Hawaiian wood. Both cool guitars. I think the Piezo is your favorite that you've demoed so far.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. The Piezo has it's so versatile. It's got so many different sounds. I mean, I didn't even know about Piezo pickups until I picked up that guitar, and I love them now.
I was unaware, but now I've pretty much got to get one.
And now I've seen it on at least 2 guitars.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, that little switch, it looks funny, but it's awesome. It does what it needs.
Switches that have good functionality like that make sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, then you go to something like the M1000 HT, which really is more basic. It only has 2 knobs and then a simple selector for the pickup setup. But
I don't really think I played that one at all.
You didn't jam that one?
No,
It's got like a classic surf feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Think Dick Dale. Maybe we'll put 10 seconds.
Let's make it 9, just 3 safe.
9 to be safe.
Just keep going lower and lower.
Yeah.
What are the ones that we got going on here? There's is that a 7 string? Is that a 6 string right there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 7.
That's a 7,
so,
yeah.
Let's see if it says it right there in the title. The
MH107. Right. Evertune. Okay.
Evertune black.
And that looks like a finished black.
You know, we haven't talked specs at all, really, on any of these guitars, like what they
with ESP, you're always gonna get locking tuners. You're gonna get a locking neck piece.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get solid woods front and back. Usually mahogany. That's a pretty good standard for them. I'm sure they experiment. I mean, again,
unless it's really like a custom. I mean, well, these are signature guitars, so I think for the most part they're all mahogany body, mahogany neck.
The only one that's not would be the koi wood on the hardtail.
Mm-hmm. And I think mostly it's either rosewood or ebony fretboard.
Yeah.
They don't experiment too much with their standards.
Which I'm not sure. I don't know. Have you heard about the whole international shipping of rosewood?
No.
You can't do it without special allotments now. So I don't know, guys, if we're having any trouble shipping our stuff international. But I was reading an article about it.
Rosewood is, what do you...
New CITES regulations. So CITES. It's a new regulation from the United States government, I believe. Came into effect on January 2nd, 2017. It calls for documentation when shipping instruments internationally that contain any amount of any kind of rosewood or certain types of bobinga. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Doesn't apply to instruments shipped within the borders of your country or instruments carried for personal use while traveling. So any of you musicians who are, moving around with one of the guitars,
internationally.
Yeah, you ought to be fine. But if you need to ship something that you've sold, whether you're doing it yourself on the used market or, again, all of us retailers, I guess we just have to have some more documentation regarding what's being shipped. So I'm sure we've figured our way around it.
What's the deal with rosewood? Why do you need it? It's, specific.
I don't know.
Is there something toxic? Is it
Brazilian rosewood is currently under protection. Those laws will stay in place.
Oh, is rosewood becoming a little endangered?
Maybe, because that seems to be what it's implying. East Indian rosewood, Honduran rosewood. Rosewood's like other ones.
So that kind of makes me think that guitars with rosewood are going to start climbing in price.
Because
it's going to be more rare.
Yep, because whatever, as with any regulations, that means it's going to cost the manufacturers more to get the wood in and the instruments out, which means they're going to veer away from using it. You might see a shift of rosewood over only to the custom builds. That's possible.
Yeah, and I mean, what was that guitar? The DMP 500, 5000.
That
has what's it called, man? It's so this is the Talking Mini DMP 500 CE Engelmann spruce top. So apparently Engelmann spruce is hard to shape into a guitar.
I see.
There's a lot more warping involved. So that's why this guitar is worth $2,500. It can be found on studiogears.com.
It sure can.
It's a great guitar. We played it here. Had a spotlight with local Temecula artist Jordan Omoto.
I'd say look out for that video within the next week or so.
Next week on Saturday, which is today technically.
Well,
if all goes to plan.
That's true.
That would be today.
Hurry up and get down to Tilted Kilt in Temecula.
Hopefully you're viewing this before 9 p.m.
Yeah.
If you're not, head over to Tilted Kilt.
Right.
I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Tilted Kilt and music. What more can you ask for?
How can you go wrong?
Thanks for taking a listen.
Thanks for bearing with us on this first episode of Gear Talk. I hope it wasn't too hard to put yourself through. It'll get better, I promise.
This is our year one. This is our day one.
Right. origin story.
Origin story.
Right. This is how we became superheroes that we are.